Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We're here for transfer talk, as we always are, 3 p.m. every single day. Plenty to talk about today. Plenty of Liverpool news, some news on Arsenal and BISSOUMA, some news on KONATE to Liverpool, TORRES to United, TCHOUAMENI to Chelsea, Willian to Chelsea. Plenty of comments as well already. Liverpool will not be going for Kabak. KONATE deal done, which is true. Wijnaldum going to Barca. Mbappe will not leave PSG. I don't think. I think that's just posturing. I do think PSG will let him go. They have no choice. If he refuses to sign a contract, you have to let him go. It's really as simple as that. If a player doesn't want to stay, you can't keep him. Right? If a player refuses to sign on the dotted line, guess what? He's gone. It's just very simple, very, very simple. Thank you, Kabak, and I wish you all the best. Links are in the chat if you do want to come and join in. We're going to be talking all of the transfer news. Liverpool, United, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, all of it. All of that today. I don't get why people are acting shocked we're not signing Kabak when we're signing KONATE, Matip not leaving because Klopp has posters in Matip in his bedroom. Same with Keita. Can spend that 18 million elsewhere. Big up to Niall. Big up to Chris as well. Mbappe, but I don't think he'll sign for them. Phillips is average. Look, we covered Phillips yesterday, obviously leaving Liverpool Football Club. But let's start with Liverpool. They're clearly the team that's doing the most. KONATE. Fabrizio Romano put out a tweet last night saying, well, not last night, yesterday, saying, here we go. It's basically done deal. I think everyone knew that KONATE was a done deal, which means that, look, what's that mean for Phillips and Kabak? Obviously, yesterday we reported that that Phillips had a £10 million price tag on his head. So Phillips is gone. Plenty of news there, though. What have we got here? For anyone that cares about Wolves, former Benfica manager Bruno Lage, close to being their new manager for Wolves. It would make sense, Portuguese and all that, the connection between Portugal and Wolves. Big up to RJ in the chat. Velvishwan, I will come on in half hour. Need to pick up someone. Not a problem, Velv. Not a problem. But as I say, plenty of action to get us to get our teeth into. Let's as I say, start with Liverpool. So KONATE to Liverpool, pretty much a done deal. It's actually been reported that he's done his first half of his medical already. Here is the story. KONATE completes first part of Liverpool medical. RB Leipzig defender KONATE reportedly completes the first part of his Liverpool medical, and a deal could be wrapped up this week. So Liverpool are straight in there. They're getting their deal done quickly, which again, and I can't emphasize this enough, that is the smart thing to do, especially for United. Get your eggs in done. Get it done, right? Get Sancho done for Liverpool. Get KONATE done for Chelsea. Get TCHOUAMENI. Try and get the striker situation done as quickly as possible. Going to be very difficult because of the types of people you're trying to get in. Reece saying Phillips will unfortunately stay as fifth choice unless a big bid comes in for Matip. Kabak is 100% not joining permanently unless something happens late in the window for cheaper. Yeah, I hear that. I actually, Phillips is probably going to go. We reported yesterday there's a £10 million price tag on his head. So it wouldn't surprise me if he just goes. That would would not surprise me in the slightest. But I mean, sort of done deal for Konate. Max is obviously a Liverpool fan. Max, what do you make of signing Konate? I mean, clearly defence and centre backs have been your issues. But yeah, Konate, done deal. Happy with that?
Yeah, I'd say I am quite happy with that. Obviously, as you say, we have had trouble with centre backs and all of them getting injured. Van Dijk, that was a little bit involuntarily, but you can't change the past.
Yeah.
But with Konate coming in, and the sooner Van Dijk and Gomez get back, we're gonna be even stronger. So with Konate's done deal, it's just gonna go up from here, I think, because obviously Konate was very good at RB Leipzig, and he does deserve some credit for what he's done. As I said in a stream before, it's not the first time RB Leipzig have been raided by a English side. But overall, I'm gonna love seeing him playing red and orange, as our kit says apparently. So I'm gonna love to see him play, and hopefully we can actually get some more clean sheets than this season, because we conceded quite a lot, and we need all the strength we can get at the minute. So, in my opinion, it's a very good signing for us.
Yeah. I did put the link in. I've put it again in the chats for you to come on if you want to. Do you think this means a change of play, a change of formation for Liverpool? Obviously, Jurgen has been very sort of liking the whole 4-3-3 or however it bloody is. Do you think this might mean that you're moving to a 5-back? Because with Konate, Gomez, and Van Dijk, I can't imagine any of them being happy just being on the bench. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because we've obviously got Van Dijk, who's out injured and been out injured since fucking first half of the season. But I can see us going to a 5-back. But if we stay at 4-back, we'd probably play Konate and Van Dijk, and then one of them would come off for Gomez. But I don't really see that happening. So it's going to be a hard decision for Klopp whether he does change the tactics, because the back five is obviously going to be very, very strong with the defenders we have. But I just don't see what he's going to do, really. Because with Konate coming in, it's just going to make Gomez and Van Dijk feel uncomfortable, because obviously it's going to be a competition for who gets in the starting 11. But I do see a little hint of possibility that we go into a 5-back, but I wouldn't mind if we didn't. But as long as Konate gets some game time and the rest of them stays happy, then I'm fine with it.
I mean, that's the issue, isn't it? Trying to keep them all happy. Gomez, Van Dijk, probably neither of them are going to want to be a bench warmer. I mean, I can't imagine you walking up to Van Dijk going, "Oh, hello, you're now a bench warmer for me." I feel like Van Dijk might just slap Jurgen Klopp across the face for that.
And then he'd leave.
Disrespect, and that. But Reece, Konate, it's a good deal. But what do you see for Liverpool now being the plan? Because as I've just alluded to, with Konate, Van Dijk and Gomez. I mean, Gomez and Van Dijk are not going to want to sit on that bench, because I think both of them have proven to be very well. Van Dijk is world class, obviously, and Gomez is a top class player. Do you see this being a change of formation, or do you genuinely see that Klopp's going to drop one of
them? I think the straight thing is that Gomez has always had his injury issues. But he's obviously got his potential. We don't know how he's going to come back from this injury, because he's got, I think he's got the worst injury out of him, Matip, and Van Dijk. And there's a potential that he might not even be back until like the very start of next season. So he might not even get a pre-season. So I'm expecting our start of the season centre-backs to be Van Dijk and Konate. And I guess we'll see from there how well Konate fits in, because he is naturally a right-sided centre-half. He's played in the back 4 for Leipzig. He's played in the back 5 for Leipzig. He can obviously cover on the right as well as Gomez, so that might be an easy way for Gomez to kind of get a couple of games, maybe against lesser sides, maybe in the Cup, get a couple of games at right back just to get his fitness back, get into the rhythm of things. I don't see a change of formation. Not really. I mean, end game, if we're a goal down or something like that, we might switch into a 3 and maybe drop Fab into the centre backs, which we've seen obviously plenty of times this season, and then have like a split of Van Dijk and either Gomez or Konate on the right, and then obviously have the wing backs very high up the pitch to try and get a late goal or something like that. But I primarily see it as sticking with a 4-3-3 or into a 4-2-3-1, depending on obviously who we bring in midfield or attacking wise in the summer.
I hear what you're saying. The reason I think move into a 5-back or 3-back, it just benefits because it does allow Trent and Robbo just to be attacking. It puts Salah closer to goal.
The thing is, I think they do that so well anyway. And I mean, they've only looked a little bit out of shape this season because we haven't had the pace at the back to cover them, because obviously that is what Gomez and Van Dijk do so well. And obviously Konate fits that model. He's like a quick Matip, which is like there. If I've seen, obviously I haven't seen Konate week in week out, but I've seen him plenty of times, and the way he comes out with the ball into midfield, similar way to Matip does. He's really good in the tackle, like timing wise. He doesn't really give away many penalties or clumsy challenges or anything like that. And I think he's early 20s, 22 today, I think. Actually, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's his birthday today. So I mean, he does fit the profile of another right-sided centre half, which would allow Matip to leave. But depending on who's going to make an offer for him when he will play about 3 games a season, I'm not too sure. So
22,
yeah, I think a lot of it depends on who comes in for our players. It's like similar with like Naby Keita and stuff like that. I've seen stuff say that if a massive bid came in for him, we would be okay letting him go, but it's not like we're actively putting him up for sale, if you know what I mean. So it's just kind of, we'll see what happens.
And I mean, it's only 30 million. So 30 million for Konate.
Well, I think it might go up to like 40 because we're happy to pay a few million extra, but to have it in installments instead of the whole price now, which is the same as what we did with Jota.
Right. Yeah,
so it's basically Michael Edwards always prefers installments just because it allows more signings over periods of time, I guess.
Yeah. No, I do hear that. But no, look, it's a fairly decent deal. It's very quick as well. Are you surprised at how quick it is? Were you expecting to have to wait a little bit longer?
Well, I think there's been rumours about it for a couple of weeks, a couple of months even. But then it's been this past week. Fabrizio has tweeted out about 5 times, I think, here we go. So I think we kind of expected it. It seemed like a deal that was never really unlikely to happen. It seemed like a very natural stage in the progression for his career. And it's the right sort of thing for us to bolster our centre-backs and for somebody, again, that's got plenty of experience at a top level, playing for a Champions League club in a top 5 league, but also somebody who's still very young and can happily challenge Gomez for that same position. So they'll push each other and hopefully make each other better. And I think there was the whole thing about his injury record, but that's kind of been swept under a bit because when you actually look into it, it's not bad at all. He's kind of had very unlucky injuries in a couple of scenarios, but other than that, he seems like a really good signing.
Yeah, no, I do hear that. Interesting news on Matthias de Ligt as well.
I saw something saying that he's unsettled, maybe at Juve. I don't know if there's much into that.
You could, I mean, not that I think United will do it, but as a rival, if United went and got Matthias de Ligt,
that'd be a really, really good signing, yeah.
Does that just scare does that scare you just a little bit? Like,
I don't think it scares me because I think they still need, or if they were to get him, I would still say they would need a 6, they would need a right winger, and they would need a striker as well as Cavani, because obviously Cavani's still, I really, really rate Cavani, but as well as somebody maybe instead of Martial, depending on what they do with Greenwood, I'm not too sure. So I'd probably say they probably need 3-4 players in total to make them proper title winners. But I think if they brought in De Ligt, they could definitely challenge. I'd say.
Imagine if United went and got Sancho, De Ligt, and like Declan Rice. That would just be absolutely insane. It's
That
never
would-
going to happen.
That would scare
It's never.
me.
It's never
That
going to
would scare
happen.
me. Yeah.
They are run by the Glazers, but imagine the Glazers being in that hot water.
Yeah.
They decide, fuck it, we'll just go get De Ligt, Sancho, and
The thing is,
fucking
that's what I'm
Declan
hoping
Rice.
FSG are like this season.
Yeah, but
Imagine
they're not
we
scared.
just go and get Mbappe just out of nowhere.
But
Like-
the issue is the issue with FSG is they're not scared because the fans have
Yeah.
sort of let them off. They've
That's
with
the thing that
United.
annoys me about our fan base. Yeah. We're
With
not
United, they
just
broke
all
into
in
fucking
one.
Old Trafford.
Yeah.
United broke it. They broke into Old Trafford and prevented a game from going ahead.
I know.
Like
That's
They-
the thing. Our fan base is way too split. Even though because fans forget about all the little or necessarily like little / big things that they've done over the years, from changing ticket pricing, to Super League, all of this and that. There's too many things to list, but fans seem to forget those stuff and just sweep them under the carpet because they've done good little things after that to kind of bring themselves back level, if you know what I mean. And like they've done an apology video that was clearly on a bloody scroll thing, whatever you want to call it. And it's like they didn't create like any sense of actual feeling or emotion, or they weren't sorry. Clearly, they were just reading it off of a screen, saying sorry to people, and our fans are stupid to believe it. And there's too many top reds, as we like to call them. It's just we can't all just agree on one thing, and that's kind of the big issue with our fan base, that there is too many people that are FSG in, too many people that are FSG out. Or sorry, not enough people that are FSG out, and too many people that sit on the fence. So we're never going to get a United sort of situation, unfortunately, because obviously they've had it for 15 years, I think, something around there. Whereas obviously we've had it for about 10, but because we've had little moments of good things in between that, it just won't really get done. Like nothing will really get done about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I do hear that. The interesting news, there's a bit of news coming out of Old Trafford, right? Now, apparently, there's a lot of key players at Old Trafford that said they want Ollie to go for Grealish instead of Sancho.
I saw about that, yeah. I think that's probably the England lads, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't think that that's an outrageous shout, but I think it's the fact that they have Rashford. So it's a bit weird.
I think it makes no sense at all because it's not a weakness at United.
Bruno and Pogba for the 10. They've got Van der Beek for the 10. They've got Rashford for the left.
Well, apparently Ollie's decided to ignore those calls to go get Grealish, and Ollie wants Sancho. Ollie, I don't, and again, I think this is the media going, look, Ollie's weak. He's listening to players. They're in control. Ollie's basically going, no, they're not. I'm going to go get Sancho. I just thought that was a fairly interesting bit to talk about because
I did notice that earlier. I saw somewhere on Twitter saying that as well. But I think Ollie's got complete sense there if he wants to go with Sancho, because they need a right-sided player. Yeah, and as much as they're both obviously creators, but Sancho's got that bit of flair, that bit of pace about him, whereas Grealish is obviously, he comes inside from the left. That's kind of how he plays. It's like how Coutinho used to play for us. He doesn't play on the right at all. So it would just seem bonkers if they went for Grealish.
Yeah, it would.
MSC's just said Grealish doesn't improve us. And then Wolf just said
he
no.
He definitely improves you, but he also takes away from Rashford, which is kind of he's your main guy.
And trust me, Rashford doesn't like getting benched. Rashford does not like getting benched. And Wolf said realistically, I see Manchester United
Sancho.
Reece is right.
I'm just looking at the Athletic, and that's.
I saw that sometimes they put a terrible article earlier about Trent, literally just before the provisional squad came out.
It's not that I saw it. It's just
they do some weird articles. That's why I'll never pay for any like journalists or like any websites to do that sort of stuff, because there's some
If I can get it for free, if free, I'm all good. I am all good there. Barca and Liverpool getting shit done fast. Yeah,
That's what I do like about us. To be fair, we always get our deals done early.
Konate is okay. Varane better, I'm afraid. Well, Varane is there's levels to this. Varane is walking into his prime. Well, in his
Varane's
prime.
what? Only like
Konate
27, 28? He's been around
Yeah,
for like
he's
20 years. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I know.
27.
He's
I've
whoever he
only just
goes
looked,
to.
but it is.
If United got Varane or Delete and they
Or
got
even Botman. I was talking to Rachel yesterday from the First XI.
oh yeah,
make
you
sure you
mentioned
check,
that before, didn't you?
make sure you check out the First XI. I spoke to Rachel last night. It was off stream, and we were talking about Botman. And Botman just improves United to everything they need. So he's left-footed, so you can move Maguire to the right where he's more comfortable, and Botman to the left where he will be more comfortable. That should, in essence, help Wan-Bissaka with his positioning defensively, because you're stood next to the fucking captain, who isn't going to need any, who isn't going to need mollycoddling by some fucking 5'11" player when he's fucking like 6'2" or whatever with a massive great big slab head. So that should help, in theory, Wan-Bissaka more defensively, and Maguire being more of that leader, sort of pushing Wan-Bissaka out a bit and getting him better focus defensively. I just think Botman, and again, it's not about the level of player you sign. It's about making sure it's the right player. Jurgen is Liverpool have done this perfectly for many years. It's not about Varane is better, go get Varane. It's about who fits your team better and who will improve more areas than just centre back. Because you want Wan-Bissaka improved. You want to be stronger in the back line, but who does that? Does Botman do it with his left foot moving Maguire over to the right? Captain next to Wan-Bissaka might help him a bit. Do you go for Varane? There's so many different ideas, and you really have to think about it intellectually, and you have to sort of avoid football Twitter in a way. It's sort of like, no, you have to think it through logically and try and piece it together. Unfortunately, football Twitter does not do that. They're a different breed, even though I do get a lot of panelists from football Twitter. If FYI, if you're from football Twitter and you're still here, you've done a good job. That's what I will say. There's one called, as an Arsenal fan, he is utterly horrific. Some of his views are crazy. Realistically, I see Manchester United getting Sancho, Koundé, Varane. What? Oh, right. I don't see bottom rights happening. Too expensive. They can only spend.
I haven't really seen anything about Koundé recently, to be fair.
Botman wouldn't be expensive. Botman, you're looking in the region of £30 million. So
yeah, because Koundé was a big chance for them, like last season. Because my mate was talking about, oh, we're trying to sign Koundé or something. But if they can't, if they want to get Delete, then it's gonna all depend on how much they have.
They're not getting Delete. I was just chucking it out there that Delete is unsettled at Juventus. So I am the first one to say that he is absolutely not joining. He's not joining. Not in your.
It'd be a great signing, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah,
give me like 50. But Botman's going to be good for them as well. So Sancho and Botman will do well. But
apparently, Botman has a higher ceiling than Delete, which is mad, and it's entirely possible, very possible. I would say if United get anyone, go get Botman. He'll be probably £10 million cheaper than Varane. It means you don't have to. You could do Sancho, Botman, and you just need a DM. It doesn't necessarily need to be a Declan Rice, just a DM. That's all you need. Grealish doesn't improve us. I hear what Matt is saying. No Sancho over Grealish. Reece is right. Well, no, Grealish does not improve us at all. Bruno and Rashford both better. Rashford and Grealish are two different players. Very different players. Sancho genuinely improves our team. No, I hear that. I do hear that. I'm not saying Sancho he does improve your team without a shadow of a doubt. I'm ex-football Twitter. Then I realised I'm a fully grown adult. Love it. Football is old people screaming at each other, and Twitter is children screaming at each other. Lol. Yeah, I don't use Facebook. Facebook is a different level of bullshit. But I also want to talk about another centre back, and tonight I'm going to be making a sort of a PowerPoint within this. So the centre backs United are linked to. If I get time, I'm going to go through their stats and really work it out. I'm going to look at Botman. I'm going to look at Varane. I'm going to look at Torres. I'm going to look at Koundé. And then I'm going to compare that to Maguire. And I'm going to compare that to Lindelof. Because I love a good stat. I very much, I don't base things purely off stats, but I do like looking at stats. I find them an interesting comparison. So that is coming tomorrow. Got a really nice one for you tomorrow. We're going to look at centre backs for United, and we're going to look at stats, and we're gonna work out what we think. Basically we're going to do a stream on being data analytical, which is quite an interesting one. A lot of teams move into that data analytical. I know Liverpool do it very well. I know that Brentford are completely data analytical. Plymouth Argyle are actually data analytical. So tomorrow we're going to do a little bit on that. We're going to look at centre backs, their stats, and try and pick out which is the best suit to United. So that is coming tomorrow at 3 p.m. That will be Transfer Talk tomorrow. Might even look at places for Liverpool and what they really need, and maybe strikers. Actually, might even tomorrow will be very data driven. Tomorrow, I'm looking forward to it. Matt saying yeah, but I'm saying if we're buying Grealish to play on the left, we have to compare with Rashford. I hear you, but the reason they're different players is because Grealish is better technically, but I think Rashford has more goals to his game. It's a weird one. It is a very, very weird one indeed. But let's talk Pau Torres quickly. United looking at Pau Torres for as a centre back. Daniel, I'll go to you. Do you think United should look at Pau Torres, or do you think they should look at someone else to maybe a Botman or a Torres or Koundé? What do you see them doing?
If you say they needed a left-sided centre back, I'd say go for Botman.
Yeah, that would be ideal, wouldn't it?
I think Pau Torres is a really good player, so I don't know if he benefits them. Yeah,
no, I do hear that. But yeah, I mean, for me, Pau Torres. Do you reckon United might do a little scouting expedition tomorrow? Not tomorrow. Well, tomorrow actually. Fuck me up. I've completely, my days are completely fucked. The Europa League final is tomorrow. We've had 2 days away from football, and I barely know my days of the week now. But do you reckon United might take a little scouting expedition of Pau Torres tomorrow? Maybe an audition. Daniel?
I would say how good he does. I would say how good if it does good tomorrow. If he does good tomorrow, then they might change their mind about him. But I think they want Botman.
Wow. Okay, let's move to Chelsea then. The interesting bit of news on your main fucking website, unbelievable. It's called Media Watch. I don't know if this is legit or not. It says Media Watch, Chelsea eyeing Tchouaméni. I know absolutely fuck all about Tchouaméni. I don't know if anyone else does about Tchouaméni. I do apologize. Tchouaméni. Does anyone know much about him?
I know we got player of the season. Was it even player of the season this year in the French league?
No, I hear that. It's an interesting one. Matt saying nice little cameo in the background there, Reese. Loving it. Matt is an interesting one for sure. But with all of this, do you expect? I suppose the question is: do you think you'll go for Tchouaméni, or do you think you'll go for Declan Rice at Chelsea? What's your thought process?
I don't know. I think Tchouaméni is the cheaper option, so I'll go for him.
Yeah, I think Tchouaméni is something like
potential.
30. Tchouaméni is valued at 40 million. Which price him for about 40, which is about 30 million cheaper than the Declan Rice. So I think Rice is something like what, 70, 80, 90 million in and around that region. Kenny, you are in fact vile and disgusting. That comment is just really grim. But Reese, I'll go to you. Tchouaméni, do you know much about him?
I can't lie, I've never heard of him. I was just saying that to my mate here. What team does he play for? Like, if maybe
Monaco.
just spring a memory of him or something.
Monaco.
Oh, is he that guy? I think I know who you're about. I've seen him on FM. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
What I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to have a look at Tchouaméni, Rice, and Jorginho and compare their stats.
Yeah, I've seen some like really big like scout guy on TikTok do a video over him, and he loves him. That's about all I know. Can't lie.
That's what I need to do. I need to start sitting at my desk more and actually watching videos. That's what I need to do. I need to fucking watch some of these YouTube videos of their best bits or even their worst bits, best or worst bits. All right, cool. Yep, I will catch you in a bit, Daniel. So we've done KONATE. That's pretty much a done deal. TORRES we've done. Tchouaméni we've done. Oh, here's an interesting bit of news. BISSOUMA. This made me laugh my head off. Arsenal are looking at a BISSOUMA. The issue that Arsenal are currently receiving is that Manchester City now want a BISSOUMA. Lisa, I'll go to you. Who wins that battle, Arsenal or Manchester City?
If you want to play time, Arsenal.
Well, this is the interesting thing. Apparently, he's not motivated by
money and guaranteed success in terms of trophies, not necessarily individual stuff, but trophies as a team, then obviously Man City. But Arsenal might be seen as a better stepping stone to actually getting to a Man City, in which he will then start games. Because, I mean, Gundogan's getting on a little bit now. I don't think he's 30 yet, but he's around that sort of age. De Bruyne's, obviously, he's not coming into that sort of role, but Fernandinho is, I think, leaving at the end of the season or maybe next season. So they will be looking for somebody in that sort of role. But it's whether he wants to kind of wait it out a little bit or go straight into the Arsenal team and play week in, week out. But it seems like a bit of a weird one because they've got Partey as well. So I don't think he really particularly fits either team. He would, to me, still be perfect for a Gini replacement.
There's Reece just casually sliding in that you would like him at Liverpool.
I've wanted him for a long time. I can't lie.
No, I hear that he's a top player. That is for sure. But Velvishwan, we're just talking about United going to get Sancho, Declan Rice, Matthias de Ligt. They're also going to go get Mbappe and Haaland. What's your thoughts on all of that?
Not Kabak says good.
Velvishwan's like, I'm not falling for that. But no, we might as well talk a bit about Kabak before we go back to BISSOUMA. Jurgen Klopp has decided to throw him out the door. He's gone past go, but he's not collecting 200 quid. He's going straight back to where he came from. What's your feelings on that?
I'm disappointed that we're not going to get Kabak, but it depends really, because if we're going to use 80 million somewhere else to get a new striker or midfielder, I won't be too mad. However, if I don't see those signs, then I'm going to be angry because you're getting rid of a talent just to not sign anyone. So what's the point of getting rid of Kabak if you're not going to sign anyone in? Because Kabak could potentially become a world-class defender if he leaves. So we'll never know. We're taking a gamble. It just depends if FSG are willing to spend the money getting us a striker and a midfielder.
No, I hear that. I just saw a news article from The Sun and decided to skip past that.
I just seen a post of Sancho in the plane. Some guy just took the picture of a window and just put it on Old Trafford. Just got a picture of Old Trafford on a sunny day. Is that Mbappe? No, Sancho to United confirmed. Just like, what's going
Do you
on?
know what? For me, it is a matter of when. United will go pick up Sancho. It's arguably the worst kept secret in world football. But Reese, Kabak, do you sort of agree with what Valve has said, which is you're happy to sort of see him go, or if that money is then spent on a midfielder or a striker?
Not particularly in that same way, I wouldn't say. I think we could definitely. I would prefer to have him as a fourth choice instead of Nat Phillips, because I think it would allow us to sell Matip for even 10, 15 mil, because he's on a decent wage, and like I said, he plays about 3 games a season. Yeah. Sell or keep Phillips, whatever you want to do. Like, it just seems mental that we couldn't, get 10, 15 mil for him from a newly promoted side or someone like that. But we've shown with all the faffing about of our centre halves that Kabak's played on both the left and the right. So that would allow KONATE and Gomez to be the right-sided, and then and then Van Dijk and Kabak to be the left sides, and then whoever is your fifth choice. And I mean, it's only 18 mil. It's that for a 20-year-old centre half who's got so much experience at a senior level is mental. Plus, we've already had 6 months of him coming in and fitting into our system and learning how we play. He's only going to improve from that. And the way I see it is that if we're not bringing him in, but we're keeping a 24-year-old Nat Phillips, who would basically sell for near enough the same money, it just doesn't really work out to me. It seems like we're just rewarding Nat Phillips because it's Nat Phillips and because it's his wonderful story from nothing, from being on loan in Germany in the second tier last season to being this hero, which he hasn't actually been. He's just come in and done a job. So, you kind of know my opinions on Nat Phillips from previous streams, but it does seem like a weird one to me. I don't think Kabak's a bad player at all. I think he can only get better, and the only thing that is maybe questionable is his pace, but he's still quicker than Nat Phillips. So
yeah. So I'm guessing you're not in agreement with. I'm guessing you're not in agreement with Sonny when he calls him Nat Dini or Naldini.
No, I think it's a great meme, but no. I love the Nat Phillips song as well. There's a really good chance, to be fair. I was singing that the other day, but
I'm not gonna lie. If
other than that, I'm not a massive Nat Phillips fan, which I get a little bit of slate for, to be fair.
I can imagine if Sonny genuinely gets Nat Phillips on the back of his new shirt and he goes,
there will be people that it will probably be like the 45-year-old Liverpool fans that are just like, he's done it for us. He's our hero. He's got us top 4. But
here's the thing, we haven't had a proper assessment of Kabak. He played with like 4 different partnerships: Henderson, Fabinho, Phillips, and Reese. Like, how are you gonna judge him like properly?
He got man of the match in his Champions League debut against Leipzig, didn't he?
Yeah. And Klopp was even raving about it in his conference before the Palace games that Kabak is good. I don't know.
The irony is that with us getting KONATE, it looks like he's probably going to be his replacement at Leipzig, and you can only see him doing bits there, can't you? Like they seem to do with all of their young players.
Yeah, I read the reports when Fabrizio said Liverpool are not willing, but he said something after about Liverpool are going to have talks with Schalke. I don't know what that means. They're possibly looking to lower the price or something.
Schalke need money, so I think we're going to try and negotiate it down like half price. Pretty much, just screw them even more. Get a player that's already cheap from a club that already has no money. For a guy that's going to come in and be our 4th choice.
I think he's done enough that if you don't go get him for the required
someone else
price,
will. 100%.
I think Leipzig might look at him. They've lost.
There'll be plenty of teams that will come in for him. He's a 20-year-old who's had a bloody experience at Schalke, Liverpool.
Stuttgart.
Was it Galatasaray, Stuttgart?
Mm.
Like, there's plenty of
Yeah.
teams that will take that.
Yeah,
I think AC Milan were the
and there's
ones who were involved.
there's plenty of teams that will take him for that asking price as well. That's not even
100%.
up for debate really. So I think if Liverpool, if you do try and haggle it down, Schalke might just tell you to fuck off. They might just tell you.
That's always been our issue in the past few years. We've always tried haggling down a few extra million and
last
we've lost
season
out on
with
players because we're
Jamal
too.
Lewis. Jamal Lewis was last
To be
season.
fair, they wanted 15 mil for him. We got
20 mil.
Simicast for even less. To be fair, so that Lewis hasn't exactly done brilliantly at Newcastle, but it's that same sort of mindset.
Yeah.
Just try and haggle for like 2 million and we lose players.
Chris saying Leicester and Leipzig suitable level for Kabak.
Yeah, that was the other club I was
Yeah,
thinking
that'll
of
be
as well. Leicester could have both of Turkey's centre backs, couldn't they? Which would be ideal.
Yeah, I suppose
I mean, they need a Wes Morgan replacement as well, don't they?
Yeah, I mean they need to look at Johnny Evans' replacement at some point because he's not getting any.
True. What is he, like 32 now? 33?
33?
He's 34 then, shit.
Is he?
34. I think
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
33,
they
34.
could definitely do a lot worse than Kabak, couldn't they?
Well, yeah, I mean,
You could arguably say that he helped him out on his debut as well.
It's one of them that if it were to happen, it would happen. Chris saying, don't forget, we've got Ben Davies. Oh, that's the cardboard.
I forgot. I genuinely forget that he exists every time I hear his name.
Yeah, apparently we are keeping him as well. So apparently we gave it up Kabak and keeping Davies. So hold on.
I'm not mad at Ben Davies playing because he's a left-footed centre half that we don't have and we haven't seen anything from him. But it's the fact that we haven't seen anything from him. Maybe if he gets all the pre-season games and just let Van Dijk get all of his fitness just 100% ready for the season.
How is he meant to get above Van Dijk, Konate, and Gomez?
Well, I mean, obviously he would be the left side. He would ideally be our fifth choice, but that would then mean that we sell Matip and Phillips. I think mathematically. I mean, Van Dijk, Gomez,
keep one of them from
Konate.
Oh my days! No, sorry, I just did something.
I'd still like us to get Kabak and then Ben Davis, fifth choice. Yeah. So that would make sense. We could sell 2 centre-halves and bring 2 centre-halves in.
Guys, search up who invented no-look defender. Look who comes up.
What?
Who invented no-look defending?
Nat Phillips.
No. Oh, fuck off. I only seen his cardboard cut out at the game on Sunday. Was he even there at the game on Sunday?
He was
on the bench?
Probably not.
No, he came down to slap Wijnaldum in the head, and that's it.
Oh, nice.
Jimmy probably thought he was a fan.
Probably. He probably doesn't even know who that is. But Lewis, we're talking. We've dominated it really with Liverpool at the moment. That's because Liverpool are doing the most work. They're not going to keep Kabak. Are you surprised by this in any way?
No. No, because I am in a way, but no. Because they've got Van Dijk, Gomez, they keep him Ben Davies, and then now have Konate. Solid backups. You don't need to add to that, in my opinion. And I'm not lying. Has Kabak been that good? No, not really, but again, there's that question of he's had so many different partners during his time. But no, I think it's right to not keep him. And let him go back to Schalke because I'm pretty sure if he does go back to Schalke, which it looks all but certain now, Leipzig want him, so apparently, so I've heard that.
Where do you think he goes to?
Well, I've already heard about Leipzig. I don't know about anyone else.
AC Milan were in for him. I think Bayern Munich before went in for him, but they got Upamecano now, so it's done. For like AC Milan or Leipzig.
I think it's probably going to be more like Leipzig. He won't go to AC because I think it's looking certain that ACL going in for Tomori, so
If they get Tomori, then yeah, Kabak won't go there. If they don't, I think Kabak will go to AC Milan.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Everyone watching, please either like on the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on.
Oh,
If
by
you're
the way,
watching on Twitter,
Niall,
come join us on YouTube. Yes, Velv?
there's more Arsenal news. Apparently, Arsenal are linked with Bayer Leverkusen centre back Tapsoba.
No idea who he is. Is he any good?
I've heard of him.
He's a very good centre back for Leverkusen. Strong, physical. Some United fans I spoke to, they wanted him to come in to instead of TORRES. I'm just checking who reported it.
It's one of them, and I mean, tomorrow we're going to do quite a data-driven transfer show. We're going to look at the stats of the likes of Botman, Varane, Torres, Koundé, Ben White, and Godfrey, from all of their leagues. So we're going to look at their leagues and what they've done. Then we're going to look at Maguire and Lindelof and work it all out per game and really take tomorrow to a new level. We'll go look at TCHOUAMENI, Declan Rice, and competitive for Chelsea. For Arsenal, I'm just not going to do an irrelevant club. And for Liverpool, I'm not sure what I'm going to look at. Maybe, I don't know.
Possible midfielder replacements for Gini?
Well, yeah, but what even is Gini? Like, I don't actually know what Gini's job at Liverpool was.
No, he does. Like, he's there to work hard in the midfield, cover for the fullbacks, ball retention, win the ball in midfield, and gets passing.
With Wijnaldum, it's weird because Liverpool go very unorthodox normally. Normally, it's very unorthodox, very difficult to do. God knows what I'm going to do for Liverpool. There will be transfer news. We'll still talk transfer news on Liverpool, but I don't know if we'll be doing anything data driven for them at the moment. But that's going to be a great show tomorrow as well. But I want to talk a little bit about BISSOUMA. Obviously, we were talking about him before. BISSOUMA, apparently, Arsenal are looking at him, but now they've got competition with Manchester City. Now, the interesting news is that BISSOUMA is not going to be driven by money. BISSOUMA wants to play. Play time is going to be more valuable to him. Velva, I'll start with you. Do you see Arsenal seriously being able to pull off BISSOUMA with Manchester City sort of looking at him?
It's difficult, really. I feel like if he goes to Arsenal, BISSOUMA, Partey, possibly Odegaard, Smith Rowe, that could be a good combination. With City, you'll get plenty of rotation, so he's going to get many game times at City. If you look at the midfield, Gundogan, De Bruyne, and Rodri, I don't see him starting over those midfielders. Possibly he'll start over Gundogan because he's getting old right now. But as a person who wants to be starter, I don't think he'll start over City. I feel like Arsenal could be a team where he can elevate them and get game time. But if I was BISSOUMA, I wouldn't waste my time playing under Arteta. Because we were linked with him before BISSOUMA. And I really like BISSOUMA. He's a very good player.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Lewis, what about you? Where do you see BISSOUMA ending up? Arsenal, City?
Well, should they both put a bid in, I'm pretty sure BISSOUMA would be more driven to Man City purely because of Europe. He wants to play in Europe. With Arsenal, you're not getting that next season. So I think Man City could get him if they decide to put a bid in. Arsenal, will he be convinced after this season? Maybe, maybe not. But out of the two teams, I think it's more suitable for him to go. Yes, then less on him starting at City or getting too much game time at City. But if I had BISSOUMA, I'd be stupid to go to Arsenal when I know Man City is potentially in for me.
Yeah, no, that's a fair argument. Max, what about you? Do you see BISSOUMA going to Arsenal or City? Not even sure if Max is there. Max is not there. Last bit of news before we wrap up. Willian reports that he wants to leave Arsenal and go back to Chelsea. This is just mildly funny in sort of every single way possible. Reece, I'll start with you. Willian to Chelsea. What a bad move that would be for Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't get it at all. I understand why Willian would do it, because why wouldn't he? He's a free agent. Well, I think Arsenal aren't really doing his contract, are they? But yeah, it'd be a weird one for Chelsea, considering they've got Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount can play on the wing, Werner kind of plays on a wide forward sort of role. They've got Pulisic. Who else? Kai Havertz. Ziyech. They all kind of play that role, don't they? It wouldn't really make sense. What is he, like 33, 32 now?
Right, yeah.
After they let him go a year ago, and now they have an even better team. I don't really understand it at all, to be blatantly honest.
Neither do I. Lewis, what about you? What do you make of Willian to Chelsea?
I'm going to keep it short and simple. No, absolutely no chance, because, like we said, they have better players than him, and he's just, there's no chance of going back. No chance. Not after he's gone to Arsenal and now wanting to go back to Chelsea. No. The Chelsea fans don't want him. Yes, he want to go back, but will the club want him? I don't think so.
I've got a feeling he could just go to Brazil. I feel like a lot of Brazilian players do that, don't they? Now they kind of get released. They don't really have anywhere to go to, because, I mean, what is he? He's going to be on stupid wages for the player that he is. He's not exactly going to make any team an amazing or like next level, is he? So I feel like that could just be a thing that he does. Maybe just go back to Brazil, get a decent wage.
There's reports of him going to Real Betis.
Maybe they've got a bunch of Brazilians, to be fair.
Yeah.
Just somewhere where he can have a bit of a dance and a samba.
Val, what about you? What do you see Willian doing?
I think Arsenal should keep Willian. He is world class. He's better than Ziyech. I feel like keeping him, you'll win the Champions League, like Arteta said, in the next 3 years. Keep Willian, you'll win the Champions League. So I feel like he should stay at Arsenal, because he's better than Lacazette, Aubameyang. He's better than Saka, Emil, mid-row. He's better than all of them. He's bigger than Arsenal because he has a UCL. So yeah. I mean, doesn't, but okay.
Wow. That is the
Interesting.
most horrific statement I've ever had on this channel, and I've had RJ. I also hope he was being sarcastic, but with Valve, you can never really know too well. Isn't that right, Valve?
Alright.
I said, were you being sarcastic? Because we can never tell with you.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's excellent. That's what we love to hear. But we're going to wrap it up there. It's going to be cut a bit short because I'm a bit tired and I want to go check out some centre backs. I'm going to have a little Google, have a little look on YouTube and see what I can find. But before we go, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. But Reece, where can they find you, mate?
Yeah, over on Twitter, same as my little name tag, LFC_Reece, and then also over on TikTok, Reece_JB, I think it is.
Perfect. And Max, are you there? Nope. Velshran, where can they find you?
Find me on Twitter, Instagram, VEL_skills. Perfect.
And Lewis, where can they find you?
You can find me at Instagram and Lewis55, YouTube Perry Sports, Twitter at Perry160. I might be going live later to speak about my reaction to, just to get people's reactions on the squad that was announced today by Southgate. Come along if you want, get off too.
Perfect. We'll be back, as I say, later tonight. Maybe the Arsenal show at 9, although looking unlikely because they're all running away. They're on holiday. They don't want to come back. Not this season anyway. But if not, we'll be back at 10 p.m. Europa League preview, which I'm sure is going to be a good one. Plenty to get our get talking about. And will Ollie win his first trophy? That is tomorrow. Watch along on the first 11 if you are tuning in. But a big thanks to everyone watching. We'll be back, as I said, 10 o'clock. But until then, thanks for watching.